Every night, at exactly 11:47, while the whole city was asleep, a broke delivery driver opened a $2 notebook and did something so strange. His own wife thought he had lost his mind. 90 nights later, he quietly quit his job. 3 years later, he was a millionaire. Nobody saw this habit happen. It didn't happen in a gym. It didn't happen in a morning routine video. It happened after midnight, in silence, with no camera watching, no one clapping. But once you understand what he was actually doing in those quiet minutes before sleep, you will never look at your nights the same way again. Before we go further, what time is it where you're watching this right now? Drop it in the comments. And if stories like this move you, hit subscribe, because this channel is for people who are done waiting for their life to start. Now, let's begin. In a small apartment above a laundromat, there lived a 30-year-old man named Daniel. Daniel drove a delivery van 12 hours a day. He was polite to customers, fast with packages, and completely invisible to the life he actually wanted. At night, when the deliveries finally stopped, Daniel would collapse onto the couch, order cheap food, scroll his phone until his eyes burned, and fall asleep with the TV still talking to an empty room. His bank account had a habit of its own. It emptied itself every month, right around the 20th, like clockwork. Daniel worked hard. He never missed a shift. But somehow, hard work and financial freedom seemed to live in two different universes. One evening, a letter arrived. Red envelope. Final notice. His rent was 3 weeks late, and the landlord wasn't going to wait much longer. Daniel sat on the floor of his apartment holding that letter, and for the first time, he asked himself a question he had been avoiding for years. Where does all my money actually go? He didn't know, and that terrified him more than the letter itself. That same night, unable to sleep, Daniel walked down to the building's small laundry room to clear his head. An old man was there, folding a shirt slowly, carefully, like it mattered. His name was Victor. He'd been the quiet night janitor of the building for as long as anyone could remember. What Daniel didn't know was that Victor had once run a small investment firm and lost it all in a single bad year. He'd rebuilt his entire financial life afterward, alone at night, with nothing but a notebook and a decision. "You look like a man who just met his bank account for the first time," Victor said, not even looking up. Daniel laughed bitterly and told him everything: the rent, the exhaustion, the feeling of running hard and going nowhere. Victor set down the shirt. "Let me guess. You work all day, and at night, you disappear into your phone until you fall asleep." Daniel nodded. "That," Victor said, "is the real reason you're stuck. Not your salary. Your midnight." Victor explained it like this. Most people believe wealth is built in the morning, waking up early, working harder, hustling before sunrise. And that helps. But there is a second, quieter window that almost nobody uses. The 10 minutes right before sleep. At midnight, Victor said, your defenses are down. No one is watching you perform. There's no boss, no audience, no image to protect. Whatever you do in those minutes is pure. That's why it's so powerful, and why almost everyone wastes it. He tore a blank page from an old notebook and handed it to Daniel. 3 things, every single night, before you sleep. Non-negotiable. Rule 1, the midnight ledger. Before bed, write down every single dollar you spent that day. Not the big stuff, everything. The coffee, the delivery fee, the impulse buy. Most people are broke not because they earn too little, but because they refuse to look. This is you looking, honestly, every night. Rule 2, the midnight question. Ask yourself one sentence. What did today's version of me build for tomorrow's version of me? If the honest answer is nothing, you write nothing. No excuses. The discomfort of writing that word is what changes you. Rule 3, the midnight seed. Before closing your eyes, read exactly 1 page about money, business, investing, a skill, anything that plants a seed for the future. 1 page. Not a video. Not a scroll. 1 page. Read slowly, on purpose. Do this every night for 90 nights, Victor said. Don't skip one. Not because you're lazy, not because you're tired, not because just tonight doesn't count. It always counts. That's the whole secret. The first 2 weeks were miserable. Daniel's ledger revealed the truth he'd been avoiding. Hundreds of dollars a month disappearing into things he didn't even remember buying. Writing nothing for the midnight question, night after night, stung more than any insult ever had. But something shifted around night 21. Daniel started noticing his spending before it happened, not after. The midnight question stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like a compass. In the one page he read each night, on budgeting, then basic investing, then small side businesses, slowly stopped feeling like homework and started feeling like fuel. By night 40, Daniel had cut enough waste to save real money for the first time in his adult life. By night 60, he'd used one of his seeds, an idea from a single page about resale, to start flipping used tools on weekends quietly from his own garage. By night 89, his side income had quietly grown larger than his delivery paycheck. On night 90, Daniel walked into the laundry room and found Victor folding another shirt. "I did it," Daniel said. "Every night. 90 nights. Victor finally smiled. "I know. I've been watching a broke young man become a dangerous one. Dangerous to his own excuses. Here is what almost nobody tells you. The people who quietly build wealth are rarely the loudest people in the room during the day. They're the ones who stay honest with themselves after everyone else has gone to sleep. The ledger, the question, the seed, none of it is exciting. None of it will trend online. But compound interest doesn't care about excitement. It only cares about consistency. So here is your challenge tonight. The same one Victor gave Daniel. Step 1. Tonight, before you sleep, write down every dollar you spent today. All of it. No hiding from yourself. Step 2. Ask yourself the midnight question. What did today's you build for tomorrow's you? Write the honest answer, even if it hurts. Step 3. Read one page. Just one. About money, about a skill, about the life you say you want. Do this for 90 nights. Not because it's exciting, because it's honest. And honesty, repeated nightly, is the quietest habit that has ever created a millionaire. If this story reached something in you, hit like right now. That's your commitment. Comment below with one word. What did today's you build for tomorrow's you? And if you know someone who's working hard but going nowhere, send this to them. It might be the 10 minutes that changes everything. Subscribe because next week, another story, another quiet habit, hiding in plain sight. Success was never loud. It happens at midnight in a $2 notebook when no one is watching. Will you open yours tonight?